Welcome to Waking God's Child YouTube channel. I am here with my co-host Eric the Watcher, and
Hello.
we're coming to you live with YouTube Studio Restream here. Eric, how are you doing this evening? Aside of everything that we discussed beforehand.
Hey, I'm always having a good time no matter what's happening, and got some interesting things that have happened just in the last hour that are
Hmm.
going to be pretty
I'm
entertaining.
dying to hear.
Yeah,
So,
I told you a little. I've given you a preview, but I'm going to show you some stuff. This is amazing. Which is, here I am thinking like, oh, what am I going to talk about tonight? What am I going to talk about tonight? And then
it just comes.
took some notes about some interesting things, but actually, what I've got is pretty insane. So if you want, I'll get right into it.
I
And
am so ready. I'm on pins and needles, as Morgie says. I think we might have Aaliyah here. You guys, we're gonna try to add Aaliyah. It says no video feed though, so I'm gonna put you up, let you go to it, and I'll mess with that. I really want to hear this though because like everything we talked about earlier, it's pretty creepy, freaky. So,
oh,
anyways,
there's Aaliyah.
yeah, I just
Hello,
got her
hello.
on. Can you hear us, Aaliyah? Maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna put Eric up because he's getting ready to have a testimony. I know you can't hear, but I want to hear this. It's gonna be
Okay,
awesome.
yeah. So
I'm
uh,
good.
I'm gonna try to tell us
And
tell
then
oh, we can hear you.
She just can't hear
I
us.
can't hear you.
Oh no, this is gonna bomb. We gotta like this is
I'm
gonna not
gonna
work.
I'm gonna mute that in just in case for now. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So weird stuff has been happening, and I'm gonna try to tell the story in chronological order. A lot of it comes just from the last hour or so, but it's been like amping up. So starting maybe 3 nights ago, I was playing around with my piano. I've got this synthesizer slash piano, and it's got a on off switch that's like a physical switch. And so it's not just like a digital like thing you touch. It's not like it's not some digital like touchpad switch. It's you have to actually like
Okay.
physically toggle it over. And did I hear Aaliyah again?
Yeah, I'm gonna text her real quick. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Anyway, so that piano turned itself off, and I don't just mean like it became off, like it just kind of died with the power switch still in the on position. The switch actually switched off because when I went to go turn it back on, it was in the off position, and I had to turn it back to on, like physically, like hard switch.
Right.
And I was sitting right next to it, the piano. I was like 4 feet away. It was on. I mean, it was like the whole thing lights up. It's a major workstation, actually. It's a $5,000 Yamaha workstation. It's a big deal. And it's brand new. And I mean, it's not like brand new where it might be like glitching and it's actually defective. No, I've had it for like 6 months and it's never turned.
Ready to connect.
What is that?
Wow, I that's weird.
Huh.
Okay,
Anyway,
so that's there. Okay, that'll
anyway,
be
so
it.
that's just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. And then most of it started today. And so today I was up at my parents' house up on the hill here, and my sister's there too. What is that? um. Anyway, and their oven, which is brand new, a couple months old, it glitched out to the point where it was like the timer was going off, but like every minute or two, regardless of anything. Like you could like turn it off, where the oven's not heated up. Like you could just turn it off and it's just got it's just showing the time, but the timer would just beep every minute. And my sister was doing everything she could, resetting it, turning on and off the timer. You could not get the timer to stop beeping every minute. And they actually had to pull the fuse for that part of the house to get the thing to reset, and then I guess it started working again. Where I mean, it started not doing what it was doing. It wasn't glitching out anymore. And then so I sent my sister an interesting video to watch. Actually, the really good interview about talking about John Titor, the time traveler from the early 2000s that made a big splash online. And she's like, "This is awesome," and so I wanted to call her to discuss it. And so I'm down here in my own little mini house, and she's up there at the main house, and we call each other all the time on Telegram. But we were just having like a hell of a time connecting, just no matter what. I just couldn't understand her. It was so loud. I couldn't even understand what she was saying. And then we got on a Jitsi call. So I just made a quick Jitsi conference call thing and sent her the URL. And she joined on there. And as soon as she joined, some kind of insane EVP was coming through. So I'm going to actually play that. So this is going to be quite a production here. So I'm going to bring that up on my computer. And I'll actually just need a second because I've got to reroute the audio from that over to my microphone so it can be picked up by you guys on that end. And that is into here and into here. And let me know if you hear this. I'm actually recording it, so
I wish I could.
You hear that?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna start that video from scratch. Now this is, to set more context fully, this is right after my sister had joined into the Jitsi conference call. And well, it's not right after, because I mean I recorded this, but I scrambled to I opened up OBS real quick and I hit record because I heard shit coming through that was like the Babylonian Greys in Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, that movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that crazy,
Yes.
creepy, like Babylonian they were speaking, and they recorded it. That was what was coming through from my sister's microphone over a Jitsi call. And so I scrambled to hit record, and this is what I recorded. This is, I think maybe there's about a minute of good content here, but there's some gaps I'm going to try to skip through. Again, I just recorded this, so I didn't have a chance to like clip it out or anything. So here we go. I'm just going to hit play, and yeah, right now I'm actually recording it. So
I wish I could hear you.
don't do anything because there's crazy shit coming through your end.
This crazy shit.
Don't do anything. Quiet.
Your face.
And so she's going to be laughing on and off because my face, I'm just like,
I heard that.
my eyes are popping open, and we're on a Jitsi video call, and she's watching me react to her EVP coming through. And I don't know if this is translating through my rerouting through the microphone and through Restream, whatever, but I'm just going to hit play again here. I'm trying to decode what's being said.
Yeah, I get a lot of these.
What is your
Oh
eyes
my
doing?
gosh. One more time, for real. Did you hear that, Aaliyah? My sister cracks me up. She's laughing.
I'm trying not to say anything because I'm trying to record this.
Oh my gosh, I can hear part of it. You gotta send that to me later.
Yeah, whoa.
That's crazy.
It was like on the phone with you today, Lisa.
The one Eric's listening to?
Is there fairies flying around you?
Oh, that's what we heard. That's right. Oh my gosh, Eric, you're gonna die.
What's up?
Aaliyah and I were talking today, and we had the same interference.
We had the same interference.
The same interference. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. What the heck was I thinking? Yeah, we were talking, right, like for a long time, and right when I was pulling back into my house, I heard this weird interference like that, like an electronic interference of some sort, but like a CB,
Yep.
like kind of what we just heard. And then Aaliyah's like, "Did you hear that?" And I thought it
Yep.
was just me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I heard that." I couldn't believe she did.
Yep.
Oh my
So-
gosh, Aaliyah.
For like
So
10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, for a while.
wow. I've got
Wow.
there's another 3.5 minutes here, and it does actually amp up pretty crazy, maybe like 1 or 2 more times, but I'm not going to take the time on the live stream here to go all the way through that. Just know that it's more of the same, and it maybe even gets more actual voicey at one point, but yeah, if you want that file, contact Lisa. I'll send it to you.
For real, yeah.
Um,
And Aaliyah, I wish we would have recorded that earlier of ours. That
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do it next time. We gotta learn how.
For real, yeah. It was
Okay, so
much like
the story continues. So what I found out later is that Valerie was messing around with her headset and finally got to the point where she could hear me like perfectly clear. And although she says exactly when she got to the point where she could finally hear me, she went dead silent on her end. And I actually thought she disconnected from that Jitsi call, but no, she just went totally silent, and I didn't realize she was still there. But yeah, so there's more strangeness there. And then I now I've recorded this 5 minutes of insane EVP, and she goes dark on Jitsi, and I figure, okay, well, she's like totally technologically dead in the water. I just told her, come on down here. You have to hear what I recorded, because she wasn't hearing any of that. That was what was coming through from her, right? And so she comes down 5 minutes later. It's just like a 30-second walk up a hill here. And
something's muting something keeps muting us.
okay. Am I okay? Just make sure I'm not
We were all muted there for a second. I have no idea what just happened.
okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, my sister comes down, and she's, as soon as she comes in the door here, she's got the creepiest look on her face, and she tells me what had just happened just on the 30-second walk. She says that she just walked through an extreme sulfur smell, and just real creepy feeling. And at that point, it was like 99% dark. So it was basically dark outside, but not 100%. It was, there was a little bit light left, but so she's totally creeped out, and and then she comes in already totally creeped out, and then I'm like, Valerie, I've got it all set for you. Put on these headphones and hit spacebar, and and so she listens to exactly what you just heard, and she's just mind blown, right? And so now what I'm going to play for you, and I'll be able to actually share my screen, and again, the major production continues. I'll actually be able to show the video, and I'll make sure the audio is still, yeah, I think the audio is still wired up to loop back through the mic. So let me know if you hear this. It'll be us talking, maybe. Here.
No.
Okay, can I find this? Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, so after Valerie got down here, and listened to that EVP, and we're talking about the crazy shit that's been happening. We head back up the hill. We go back out. We grab our most powerful big LED panel lights and my camera. And just for full disclosure, this is a Nikon Z30. And I recorded this in pretty good quality and sound. And so I've got some, I've got the account of us walking up the hill. And so let me share my screen now.
Let me, hold on a second, because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, hold on. Actually, I'll be able to share just the
There you go.
video. Yeah,
Okay.
that's great. So that is just the video. So you'll be able to see our very messy little homestead here. So we exit my mini house and we're walking up this hill here, and I'll just hit space and see what goes and see what happens.
And it was even lighter when I came down.
Wow, this light is so good. Look at this combo.
Oh yeah, it is. That is perfect. And like, look at that big star in the sky.
Super bright.
It's huge.
That's like 4 times a normal star.
Yeah. And what is that even? I thought Mars was the biggest, and that's usually over here, to the right of us. Smell it? Getting stronger.
Well, I already did back there. I started.
Oh, okay. It gets worse.
Ugh.
Like that.
So,
I did. Not okay. Just a little bit still. Sulfur.
That's crazy. It's getting worse.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's that rotten egg smell.
Yep. Bad.
Never smelled it before here.
Oh, yeah, every time.
The house.
Weird.
I sent it to him.
So that right there is a house that is decommissioned and is basically demolishing. So that's not their house right there.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I would have totally walked through the house. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's worse like right in this area right here.
Yeah. For no reason.
For no reason.
There's nothing here.
No.
Okay, can I find that spot again? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh. And there's nothing here. And there's nothing that would cause that extreme sulfur smell.
Yeah, it's right here.
I can tell you what caused.
Okay, so this continues where we are basically just walking back and forth up in that area in front of their house, side to side, only maybe like in a 50-foot wide area. And it is moving around, and basically you get the sense that it's almost like following us around, and then sometimes like darting away, and it's an extreme sulfur smell. So this video here goes on for looks like about 15 or so minutes total, and the whole time we're just going over here and just following it around. And ghost hunting. Ghost hunt. It's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that. I'll stop sharing my screen now. And so this is just within like 45 minutes ago. And what's crazy is I come down, I just move that file to my computer, and my computer is no joke. It's like it could like win an award. I spent $4,800 in this thing. I screwed every component together myself. It is a built master computer. Okay. It's all the best stuff from about a year ago.
Right.
It doesn't crash. It doesn't glitch out. And as soon as I copied or tried to copy that file to my internal hard drive, everything just got insanely glitchy, and it totally glitched out. And what's crazy is I almost like it was like a self-fulfilling prophetic thought. I thought to myself, wow, there's so much shit going on right now. I wonder if my computer is going to crash right now. And it crashed exactly right when I had that thought. Yep. And so I had to, and when I rebooted it, it rebooted like it never has before. It completely did it turned off like there's like hundreds of LED lights in this thing. Like it completely turned off and then turned back
Not
on.
even normal.
It's not supposed to do that during a regular reboot. It's supposed to just do like a soft reboot where the thing, all the fans keep spinning and the lights stay on. So it took me a couple hard power cycles to get the thing to actually come back, and it did, and I'm using it right now. And then I was able to copy the file to my hard drive, and that's what you just saw. What else? And then I started talking to Lisa. And then I jumped right into this restream call here, and Lisa is confirming.
Like when I first called you, your cell phone glitched out, and then your keyboard turned off, like with a hard switch.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like his story gets like it was even weirder. Like after that, it was like.
Yeah. What else? I took a notes just a second ago. Oh, get this. Oh my God. Actually, part of the reason that me and my sister were even talking that much just right now is because she asked me, I think right after she finished that John Teeter documentary, she asked me a question on Telegram. She said, let me actually find her message to me. And it is, she says, did you have weird dreams or feel funny yesterday or last night? And I tell her, I was so
wow.
Yeah. And then she tells me, well, last night I was awake, but felt like I was on some like psychedelics because I kept hearing doors shut and I felt like I was almost in a fairy world. And I swear I sensed laughing, but not like I heard laughing anyway. It was all too strange. Doors
talking
closing
about.
and laughing. And that was last night.
I had a really strange kind of like-minded dream last night. I just spoke to someone that said that almost the exact same thing right before I got on here. Right when you got on. What's that?
Do tell.
Well, first, like the weird thing is like Eric was telling me about this right before we got on, and he didn't tell me too much. How did that go? You were gonna tell me, and I was like, did you see the orbs or? I can't even remember how it went. You probably know. And the sulfur, he was like, well, I had the smell. He's like, what it smelled like? I'm like, I can tell you what it smelled like. It was sulfur and like metal or something. And
it's worth pointing out that just in our private conversation before we went live, I was just hinting at what just happened up on that hill. And Lisa said sulfur before I gave it away at all. So she knew exactly and she described it as it was jetting around and moving around. And that's exactly and she gave that away. She didn't, I didn't like say what was happening.
He's like, you won't believe what just happened to me. That's all he said.
That's all I said. I said just within half an hour at that point, there's crazy shit happening outside. And she was like, you see orbs, you smell the sulfur. I'm like, what? Yes.
He's like, I'll describe it. I'm like, it was sulfur, kind of a metal,
and
darting here and there.
And in a couple spots, I did see orb going across the frame.
I saw it too. Whenever you showed that.
And something I didn't say yet is, I don't know if I could find the like our reaction. I'm scrubbing through the video right now. No, I don't think I could find it real quick because it's about 15 minutes. But we heard a howling screech in the distance.
And I just heard that a little bit ago too.
Yeah, and we've got and it might actually have made its way to my camera, and at least certainly our reaction did. So again, if you want this original video,
Totally.
13 gigs, I'll get it to you if you want. I'm going to save it.
Please do. And I'm sure I'm going to have people on here that are subscribers that would love to, I mean, the thing is, there's so many experiencing the high strangeness, to say the least, and that's just putting it politely.
Well, I'll upload it to YouTube. But yeah, if anyone wants the original, I am speaking to the listeners here. Just let me know. I'll get that 13 gigs to you.
And
I'll
Eric
upload
does
it.
have a YouTube channel, Eric the Watcher.
Yeah.
So please go subscribe to his channel. Tune in. He's gonna put that content, I'm assuming, right on there.
I haven't even subscribed yet. I didn't know.
Oh no, yeah, I had it like I think I put it on the first podcast we had with
there's
them.
not much there. I've been flying
You'll get
under
there.
the radar.
You're already there.
I've been flying under the radar on purpose. Much
you
like
guys, both of you, Aaliyah and you, both need to not be under the radar anymore, because she's a world of information as well, and you are, and there's a lot of people seeking that out, especially in this day and time. It's completely different times we're living in.
Yeah. So
right there you go, bringing the new world order. So.
Like the Federation, yeah.
You bet. I mean, that it's serious and it's happening. So.
Yeah, you are right about the
timelines crossing.
For real, yeah, she's right. Timelines are crossing, and that's one thing I've noticed as well.
And we gotta think positive, because big, awesome things are on our horizon. Like I've been saying, to infinity and beyond, straight up.
That's why I tell my kids, I'm like, I love you to infinity and beyond, and some. It's like, it's infinite, period.
And some, yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real. So Eric, let me ask you this. With your experience in that, like, was that the first time you've smelled like the sulfuric? That's cool, Aaliyah.
It's the infinity of infinity.
I like that.
Really crazy.
That is cute. I like that.
I wanted to add something about like the sulfur thing. So
yeah, please do. That's thank you. Yeah.
Like when I was like 23, I started taking some pharmaceuticals from obviously the docs. I think it was like benzodiazepine and what is that, Xanax and Ambien. Well, I ended up having what I thought was demonic, but then I thought it was psychoelectronic. But then I realized, oh, wow, this is alien, straight up. I smelled the sulfur. And, wow. So anyways, I did some investigating and, watching that RAKK movie from James Cameron. I don't like to say it out loud.
Yeah.
But, that I got to thinking, too, because these are reptilian, underworld, even if it was gray, they have lots of minerals in their system. So it's just like, using sulfur would be to like using salt on a slug,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so do you not look at that the same as like demonic entities, whether it be aliens versus? I mean, are they not the same? Maybe.
Yeah, I look at it as fourth dimension because we were in third dimension. Then when you start waking up and you start realizing, yeah, there are Draco, there are Greys, there are lots of other things.
I mean, there are totally so many. I guess I look at them and I think maybe it's singing the same song, like those other dimensions. I mean, I've never felt like good about them. Does that make sense? Like I always have a horrible feeling when I've seen them.
All dimensions are going on right now in this time space, and we have to kind of.
How do you feel like when you encountered what you encountered, Eric?
Well. It's
me too.
It's not so much always about just one person thinks or feels, but if we reflect upon what the masses are saying and stumbling upon, you can certainly craft a pretty sane conclusion, and that is that so many people have encountered these Draco things and Greys and have reported the same thing. So, and the thing that I'm talking about that they report that's very uniform over decades now is that they smell so bad that your average human will actually pass out if you get too close.
The smell of that vulture? There you go. 20 times worse.
I'm so glad you didn't get pulled over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
so
right, Eric.
so
That's totally
so
right.
also here's an interesting thought too. We are here on this earth. We have senses that are carefully crafted to help us out in this reality. We feel something burning and we jolt our hands away so we don't get harmed. We smell something good and we are intrigued. We go after it. It might be good for food, right? We smell something bad. It's rotting. It's bad for us. It's objectively harmful. And so when I take this stupid simplistic child view of do we need to make a determination, is this good or bad? Well, let's reflect upon those base senses, and this thing smelled like absolute garbage and I wanted to get the hell away from it. And so I'm going to say objectively this is
It's ironic, or the way I see it.
on the bad end of the spectrum. And coincidentally,
But it's not
I
awful.
coincidentally, I have smelled flowers that were amazing smelling, and my dad has too. And he smelled it very strong, and he actually saw a puff of like a cloud in his room, like the day after his dad died. He smelled flowers and saw a cloud in his room.
Yes. Yeah, I've actually noticed the same thing at certain times. And Aaliyah, I'm sorry, what were you going to say too? What your thoughts were about that?
So sulfur steam, heavy metals are going to rust with sulfur. So, if you were made of heavy metals in the underworld, straight up, that's going to suck just like salt on a slug's bag, Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's what I was saying. Like, I haven't ever had any good encounter with any of them. That I guess is where I'm going with it, because if they're hiding, they're not showing themselves. They are not coming out and directly helping if they say that they're here to help. Yet I've seen that one finger being lifted. I'm just not getting it. I'm just like, that's a demon. That's like, here's your beliefs. Let me waver you away from
the vibration,
the good book and the Dead Sea Scrolls and all those things that were written in ancient times, which has so much truth. They're singing the same song, but not only that, we're watching it unfold right in front of our very eyes. So that's where I have that. I'm not even confused about it. I feel no good towards any of that experience. I should say I've had white orbs that almost make me feel elated. I feel like they're angels. But some of those other colored orbs and whatnot that I've experienced, they do not feel good. Like it's just something you feel right here. Have you noticed that as well?
Stanley Romanek is he has a great documentary, and he's been one of the ones that's abducted the most, and he's happy to talk about it. I have a lot of relation with his stories, and it's the blue orbs, the grays. Stanley Romanek, he's great. Yeah. Well,
my friend Sam Walker that's on here right now has the experience with a lot of the abduction as well. So I can't say that I have any recollection of that, but with the things that happened to me, yeah, it makes you wonder. And Eric told a story where he was upside down in his bed one day, and he's a sound sleeper and a perfect sleeper, not a sound sleeper, perfect sleeper in one position, and so many others, coming and forth and forward and saying, "Look, this happened to me."
Injection in my eye, like in my left eye, I have this. Needle mark is what it looks like, and inside of the roof of my mouth, if you look at the very top of my jaw, the whole left side is inflated as if I was totally inoculated. I was 2011 or 2021, and I was looking up Peter the Insider, and he works for the ACIO, the Alien Council of Interterrestrial Organization. I love Peter's work, and he's really just like, hey, this is what's up. He's really great. But he was talking about the black goo being inoculated in vitro. So they were able to stop time, be able to inoculate in vitro. And it makes me wonder,
anyone that knows me, that was my first encounter.
Shasta like me. Yeah.
I mean, literally, my first encounter that woke me up was with black goo. So it's such a strange, deep. It's a conversation that could go on for, because I think there's just so much to all of this that maybe we'll know, maybe we won't.
Because Trump's SpaceX, right? Like, do you have the fence on that SpaceX that's programmable matter, and it does not have the sentient in it. So I'm like, what the heck, guys? Like, why can't we just use frequencies? And why are we,
I mean, that's what the whole world's based off of, frequencies. So, I don't know, Eric. Any thoughts on that?
Trying to find some understanding.
I always look for it. I suffer a lot with it.
Sorry, on what exactly?
So, like, your thoughts as far as when you experience certain things, do you have that good feeling, bad feeling, or do you have insight as to like how you see it or view it? I mean, there's so much, but I mean, a lot of it has been written in ancient, cuneiform tablets.
The feeling about it is usually pretty obvious. If it's benevolent or malevolent, it's I feel like the benevolent, whatever they are, I feel like it's I get a feeling of like curiosity, in their during their observation, and like they're they're just more passive, whereas these malevolent things, I feel like they're almost out to, well, I pretty much, we can conclude that they're out to cause us fear, which apparently they're able to draw energy from. So I think anytime we feel ourselves fearful, that maybe these things are actually doing that to feed off of us, much like we might have some kind of animals in a cage and we are eating them at, whenever it's time to butcher them.
You don't want to eat an animal now.
We may be some kind of equivalent, of course, where we actually can't understand, or we can't fathom it, but we may be like a farm animal to some of these malevolent entities, and they may see us
as been written about to some respect, because it's nowhere. There's nothing that says that really, but I don't know. There's a heartfelt feeling with me, things that you just know and you feel, and then there's that, and here's the ancient, tablets that tell a little bit but don't tell all. I don't know. So much. Sam asked me to show you this. He's on our I'm going to go this way with it. He said, you want to know where they're coming from? I guess this is showing. Sam, you're going to have to go ahead and explain that in the comments, but I mean, he's right. Like, look, there's a lot of weird stuff going on there.
Yeah.
And he is constantly seeing the strangest things over here, just like I am here, but he's just like 2 hours from me. And there's some weird stuff going on everywhere.
So that's a map?
This is the radar. This is so he's got me using it's called my radar, I think is what it's called, or my radar, something like that. It's an app, but right there, it's like I've seen like a serpent crawl up through there. Like, watched a thunderstorm, which in the shape of a serpent just literally snake its way through. I mean, it was the strangest thing. And he watches this like some people watch the ISS, which I'm one of them. He watches this like a hawk, and he's always finding just really interesting, phenomenons that are not normal. And I'm not sure what he's got turned on here. Yeah, but he's got, these are all weather related things going on, and that's a lot. I don't care if it's, whatever he's got turned on, if he's got them all on, that's way more than it should be. So, but I mean, he watches that, and he's right. Everything he's ever showed me is.
Oh no, Lisa. Oh, and then I can't hear you, Aaliyah. Oh my God, everything's just breaking down right now. I wonder if anyone can hear me. Oh no, I can't hear anything. Well, I guess we're going to have to wait for Lisa to come back. I'm guessing that Aaliyah, like, give a thumbs up if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
How this works.
Oh, there you are.
Right. Okay, maybe I'm back. That was flipping weird. Wow, look at me in time on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna have to back out, guys.
Okay, people are saying they hear me. Yeah, I mean, if people want to hear some more of that EVP stuff, I think I still have it. Yeah, it's this right here. And I've got to reroute my audio just a second.
Okay, guys, I think we're back. Sorry, it's you guys are there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, Lisa,
I mean, it kicked me off completely. My whole computer just shut down.
I was about to play the remainder of that EVP video or audio.
Yay, I can hear this time.
Oh, good. Everyone's on now.
I ended
again.
the call and I'm all good too. Yeah.
Can
Sam
you hear
says
us?
they didn't like that.
I mean, my whole computer just got shut off. That was flipping weird. Not really too weird.
I was just about to.
You're talking to me right now.
I was just connecting a point.
Yeah,
let me say this. Okay, before I forget it. These last 48 hours or so.
All right.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, we're here.
These last 48 hours or so, there's been a windstorm here in my region, basically like the West Virginia, Ohio area, and it's just like a freaky windstorm. Like I opened up Google one day, just plain Google, and they're like, I didn't even try to look up weather and stuff. They're warning me about this windstorm, and I think that is correlated to what some of this weird activity here is, because I mean, if you just look at the Bible and reflect upon the description of the four angels that what's the actual wording there? Do you know what I'm talking about, Lisa, where it says that the four angels
pour out my spirit on all nations?
No, actually the four angels like standing at the four corners of earth.
Yeah, those are your. Oh my gosh. That's
they're
like
controlling the winds.
Help us out in the chat, guys.
Well, controlling the winds is what I'm saying. Is what it says.
No, I forget what that's called though.
So my point is that I think the winds are somehow correlated to like spiritual activity. So the four winds, exactly. So I'm just drawing a connection between this increase in weird shit across the board between me and you two, and of course, no doubt, everyone.
In the last days, I will pour out my spirit. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will have visions.
Yeah. So just
coming of the Son of Man, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So I generally equate strong winds with spiritual activity, and so that's just cool. It's an interesting coincidence that we would have this windstorm, and then my sister would be having that experience, and then we have all this experience, and me, I've a couple. I mean, I've been a little bit sleep deprived the last couple of nights, but I feel like I'm like in a daze, like dizzy, tired, like
yes.
The last 2 nights I close my eyes and I'm like already sleeping, and I don't think Aaliyah can hear me. Am I? Yeah, I think I'm coming through. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So I'll sometimes like do this visualization technique, like right when I hit the pillow and I'm trying to fall asleep. It actually helps me fall asleep quicker. And it's basically where I'm toggling on my third eye. I know that sounds crazy for people that haven't done this, but you can get to a point where you actually flip on your third eye, and it's an absolute Boolean thing. It's like you're using your this eye, and then you flip a switch, and whomp, that turns off and that turns on. Or sometimes people can have them both on, and you don't really want that. It can be probably confusing, but I really love doing this before I go to bed. I never know what I'll see. It's like I'm looking into another realm, and if someone has no idea what I'm talking about, basically I'm seeing a lot of what looks like a Tool album cover art. So like an infinite realm of living geometry. and I do this all the time. But I've been so deliriously tired that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and do this thing, and before I even have a chance to do anything, I'm sleeping. I'm just dead tired. So what my sister was experiencing with her being super tired and delirious and whatever, it could be affecting me too, because it's been these last 2 nights.
I'll tell you what, I feel that dizziness, like not exhausted, like physically tired, like I'm just going to fall asleep, but that lethargic kind of walking and fog is what I've been feeling anyway. Can you guys hear me too, or no?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Aaliyah, did you have anything you want to add? I was going to show you guys one of my orb ones, but I got to pull it up first, so I need one of you to just take over, like Jesus take the wheel kind of moment.
Yeah, I've got nothing else right now. If Aaliyah is able to come on and say some stuff.
Can you hear us?
Is she working?
No.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, like, my computer got just shut off. I'm plugged in. There was no reason for that to happen. Aaliyah, we can't get sound on. But, I mean, that's how it works. That's why I don't feel like there are friends or aliens. I feel like it's Satan working his finest little magic hour. That's how I've always felt. I don't care if they're all different races or hybrid races or whatever. I mean, birds of a feather flock together, and that's just kind of how I've never felt anything good. I mean,
yeah,
any of that.
To carry on with what you just said, I've how I was just thinking to myself, oh great, like now my computer is going to crash, like right when I needed it to copy the file, and it did, and also I think I mentioned on a previous live stream where I was on a Discord call, the Discord app, actually it was just a voice channel, but there was like 150 people in there, and I was just like on a roll, spitting some fire, and like the whole room went quiet. It was previously a total mess until I started answering questions, and people all shut up to listen. But then right at the exact moment when I was about to weave the whole story together and make the big moment, then everything just crashed. Internet went out, phone crashed, everything crashed. And I tried to get back on and finish up, and I was able to, but I feel like a lot of people had left, or it just was the perfect time for that disruption to button up this stuff I was spitting. and they all didn't get to hear it.
We're wiping off what you're spitting out. Yeah,
and they all didn't get to hear it.
That's how that works. It seems like a lot.
Yeah. So
Aaliyah, can you hear us?
Yeah, she can hear us, but we can't hear her.
Yeah, I mean, this is spiritual warfare, in my opinion. I call it spiritual warfare at its finest. Not too much is going to waver me from that because of I believe in Jesus Christ kind of portion of all of it. But I also believe that there are lots of other aspects that we are not aware of. I do believe that. I just know good feeling, bad feeling. That's the main thing.
Yeah, spiritual warfare that's what this is.
Okay, I have you on speaker again. Are you there?
Yes.
But your face isn't there anymore.
I'm going to hook back up. I was going to retry just in case.
Okay.
And it was so scrambled, like literally static in the worst way.
I do not doubt that at all. That is totally normal. Okay. Well, not normal. It shouldn't be happening, but yeah, it's normal for us. So, okay, go ahead and try to re-sign on. I'm sorry, Eric, what were you saying?
Oh, no, I'm good. And Aaliyah is coming through pretty good.
She, on my side, I can't see anything.
Can you sign back in, or did you just sign out?
I'm trying to get back in. It says click allow in the browser pop-up, and I don't know. It's not.
She sounds okay like this.
Okay, we don't see you, but yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
Back out and come back in, maybe. I'm going to leave you on the phone. We can hear you either way, but
yeah, just stay on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, Eric, you were at. I'm sorry, it's like a brain fart.
I was just saying if she's got something to say. I mean, she sounds good like this.
Yeah, yeah. No, you were saying something though about the feelings, I guess. Sorry,
I
Aaliyah?
have a lot of stuff to say.
Oh, please do. Go ahead.
So I think organite is really important. Like I was watching a dude. I think he was down in California, and it was probably about a 10-year-old video. And directed energy weapons like Excalibur were used, and it incinerated the ground in these areas. So the guy gifted the ground some organite, and he made a parameter, a pretty vast area too. He actually buried the organite, and it was amazing to see the lay of the land, how fertile it was. And I had an organite, and I had it on for about a year. They say to not sleep with it on. I found that if I took it off when I went to bed, it was me fighting that force field again, trying to get my body used to it. So every time I'd put it back on my body, I'd be sick for a while. But then once I built that force field back up, then it was the best thing ever. And, absolutely you would miss it. We need, electromagnetism in this silent weapon warfare, and, electromagnetic pulse and being grounded. These solar flares are getting pretty rocking. So Faraday is some serious medicine. And, just for this conversation, actually, for this podcast tonight, I set up an altar with all my crystals out, and yeah, it just feels really good in here. Actually, it's important to keep your crystals around.
I've noticed that the crystals definitely contain some sort of energetic components. I mean, literally, I can move them with my mind. Anyone that's familiar with the pendulum was always told that is literally demonic. I don't believe that.
It's divinity.
I mean, yeah, and there are answers within the crystals. I do believe that. I've actually experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you, Eric? Have you? Oh wow! Oops, something went wrong. It says apparently a lot of things are going wrong. So, I don't think anyone's here anymore. Are you guys still here?
I'm all good.
I don't know what's going on, but there is nothing left up here. I don't see Eric. I don't see.
I'm here.
Me. I don't see you.
I'm buffering over here. It's probably because I'm on the call.
I literally don't know what is going on at all. No, I mean, no, it's not just you, honey, because this has been something that we've all experienced so many times.
Eric and I have had some serious phenomena every single day.
Yeah, and that's the story of my life.
I mean, over at his house, he had jets flying over his head, and there was 3 of them, And I live where there's an air base here, and when my dad passed away, he has a friend that has the highest clearance there, and it's just kind of crazy, why there'd be 30 jets there flying around.
Happens all the time, I promise you, to everybody that I know, like us. Okay, I see us now. We're back where we were supposed to be, except for I don't see you, Aaliyah, but okay, yeah. So what's when you have a connection with someone that's awake, my experience myself, it's all the weird, strange phenomenons, anything and everything possible, whether it's 30 jets or 25 orbs or everything going bad or the electronics no longer working. It is a common factor, and it's not just any one person. It's just seemingly it goes with the territory.
Matrix 4, Neo and Trinity, the whole system is doing everything it can.
Totally.
In fact, the entire Matrix is constructed to keep the people apart. The people that are the powerhouses that feed the entire system. The system is built to keep us apart. And so when we start getting together, it starts throwing their zombies out skyscraper windows at us as a last resort. And so what we are all experiencing is that, but of course to just lesser degrees, these silly little disruptions and little bothersome things. Well, imagine if 1,000 of us were trying to get together. I really do think we would see on Earth.
I say strength in numbers, man. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we would actually see something physically equivalent to the Matrix 4's representation of the people jumping out, suiciding themselves just to get
Totally.
a swing at Neo and Trinity as they're riding down the road. I think we would actually see something like that happen.
I literally agree with every bit of that. Yeah, and I've said that, and every one of my people that have been on my channel and listened, they know. Like I've said, look, guys, there's strength in numbers. We got like the more of us together, I like our power is like unlimited. I really believe that.
Yeah, and this is the reason. This is the reason for materialism and all that stuff, is because it's putting us all, or it's making us all imprison ourselves in separate little houses, separate little everything. Everyone has their own bubble to live in. So even if you're a mile away from someone that you should get together with to cause positive change in this world, you're not going to. You're just going to sit your ass both on your own couch in your own living room.
Right. I mean, 100%. And I mean, I've been, like I said, 10 years now, and I've noticed when I have certain people on podcasts or whatever, when I encounter them, it is amazing the things that start happening. It's either more intense with the orbs or whatever we're seeing in the sky. I call them biological. In my mind, that's what I've seen most of. Others I can't explain. Don't even try. Don't pretend to know. I'm always looking for answers. But I just know one thing. The more of us that are awake and the spiritual level of this awakening,
and thinking
the
positive.
more powerful.
Yeah. Think positive. And 369, power and manifestations, writing like 3 times down your manifestation. Then later in the day, write it 6 times down. Then later in the day,
Eric, orbs.
1 time. You start seeing some phenomena happen.
You betcha. I mean, really, your intent is everything.
Intention and attention and an action.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 things for magic.
I mean, like I said, I don't think we were put here with no capabilities, because we're looking at megalithic structures of phenomenal size with these architectural designs and inscriptions that we today cannot, even if we tried, we could not replicate. It's kind of a no-brainer to me that we've had the mind, capacity and the mental capacity, as well as the skill to do it in the past. But when you contaminate your body with poison, basically is what it is, and your environment is poisoned, and your third eye is calcified, which we're taught to believe is bad. It's just a bunch of ruckus. I think we're all very, very gifted on so many levels in a spiritual way.
Right.
So, sorry, would you like to add anything else, Eric? I found that little video, but when I try to play it, it won't come up. So.
Oh, weird. That's too bad.
Right here, but.
Well, I want to kind of have like
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh. Well, I was just going to say something that came into my mind when you're talking about how we are some greatly diminished form of previous civilizations. Well, I wanted maybe we can even put it back on ourselves and say we are to blame for the the world that we find ourselves in right now, because that quote of I don't know who it's by, but it's I'm paraphrasing. It's something like the only thing required for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. Well, so basically, if we're passive and just letting whoever do whatever, and just taking it and just going home and sitting on our couch and watching TV, well, that's almost like us accepting whatever anyone is just going to send our way. And of course, it's generally going to be something destructive. And of course, then generationally, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, as we're like frogs in water and the heat is being turned up by the evil ones. So if we take it upon ourselves to be the people that are the good men that are doing something, well, that'll be like shining light on roaches, and we can actually cause the evil to scatter back out. And so that's where I think you're seeing all these this great architecture, the star forts, the impossible architecture concept. I think all that came about during the time that the Bible refers to as the the millennial reign of Christ. I think that is ancient history, and I think that all these foundlings and mud-flooded cities and star forts and like all that whole impossible architecture, I think that was the millennial reign of Christ, and it was simply a time in which evil was greatly kept at
Yeah.
bay
Yes.
by nearly everyone.
It's crossed my mind.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
just in the
I'm
opposite
gonna have
situation
some
now.
mind.
Yeah. We're
We're
just
gonna
in the
stop the
opposite
reset.
situation now, and
Yeah.
it may.
Literally, that's what I think. That's a very good
Turn
call.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
But
is Babylon falling down. hmm
yep.
And bringing in,
Like I said, Babylon fell once, Babylon fall again, and we are literally there, I think.
Yeah.
It's all about
But,
the
you know-
Christos consciousness right now, and the divine feminine.
Right. That's
It's beautiful. And if people would just sit and meditate, even myself, I'm the worst at doing it. But
I've never done it.
Really good how the things I have, if I really wanted to start making, I mean, that's true enlightenment when you actually see results,
right. Yeah. I don't know. All I know is I did never dream it possible, and then one day came into contact with some gooey substance, and my life changed forever after that. And the other thing I know is there's no going back from that. And it's very hard to find people to relate to you that understand you, and that's why we all gather in places like this.
For me,
Because there's
straight
few
up,
of
I
us.
had like nematodes issues. Like my nose was breaking out with nematodes and my chin. And it was because like in the springs, we'd start getting the highs with the solar plexus, the sun would start coming in, coming up north on the equator. Well, on the globe. Well, it's really terrifying what happened. My mom, I love her dearly, but she's not gotten it through her skull that pesticides are a problem, and that they cause, this Morgellons dermatitis, really COVID, and it's so frustrating. Well, anyways, I had tried every product basically. I had went through the stores, scanned everything, couldn't find anything. So I was like, man, I'm gonna take my crop. I grew some pot, took my crop. I blessed it up. I made a 5 thieves oil, and I made some RSO, Rick Simpson oil. And I put that Rick Simpson oil within that salve. And as soon as I put it on my nose, I mean, literally, it just popped out like this thing. And I was so like, did that just happen? Because I mean, seriously, it was like 2.5 years of me tormented and suffering. And everywhere I went, my nose would be dripping, and it was just, I couldn't go anywhere. It was basically like, locked at home because you have to take care of your symptoms. Well, so I wanted to see what that little sucker was, right? And it was an Ouroboros snake. When I saw it wrapped in an infinity with its tail inside of the mouth, so I went and got a toothpick, and I saw that, yeah, clearly it's a snake's head, and the tail was actually another snake's head, and it was kind of a greenish black, and it had fibers growing in it.
Wow. Whoa. Where'd you go? See what I mean right there?
Oh,
Can
did
you
she
guys
get
hear
cut
me,
off?
or am I gone again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, like, okay. Like, I don't know what the heck's going on. I thought I lost everything again. Okay. So I'm still here. Aaliyah's not. It just like hung up my phone. I should have known it wasn't here because she's on my phone and not here.
Okay.
I don't know. That's how this goes, though. We know that. So go ahead. Just tell me what you.
Well,
because I know you have like some really important things that everyone should hear. I really know this. So.
Well, I didn't have anything else to like in my notes or anything. It's been an hour, so I don't know how long we want this to go.
I think it's about probably good for a Sunday night. I don't mind going longer. I just know that, we can do this again, definitely in a few days too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just
like we got like a lot of cards stacked up against us tonight.
Yeah, I prefer just more frequent, shorter streams because then we're able to stay on like a topic, and then you can properly name the video, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, I had put in electronic interference when we had not even decided yet, so I
Really?
think that's what's up there.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
we had a lot of that tonight. So
Well,
that was kind of
I
cool.
just feel like I should reiterate the whole anytime anything is wrong in your vicinity, just tell yourself that you're to blame. And because that,
Just blame it on me. I'm used to
just
it.
tell yourself you're to blame, because at the very least that causes you to try to solve it then, right? Or right the wrong. So
Well, I don't know. I don't want people to feel like they're bad or anything either, though. I just think, like, if you guys don't like what's in your life, change it. You got the power to change it,
that's
right?
what I mean. Yeah. If you
Totally.
find
Yeah.
yourself in a bad situation, whether it be with people or
Yeah.
technology,
I mean, there
or
are bad people, but you got the power.
yeah, exactly.
Totally.
And that's why I said at the very least it can cause you to
Totally. Yeah.
be inspired to change your circumstances. And
Yes, I agree with that, because I have some people that get like on a suicidal level where they think everything is their own fault, and so that's mainly the reason I say it. I don't ever want you all to feel that way, but I mean, just don't forget you have the power. Like you said, if you're ever there, you have the power to change it.
well,
So.
and that's all I mean, is not to take,
Yeah, that's what I said.
not
You just
yeah,
that's exactly.
don't ever take any kind of like cowering like
And to me, that
position.
is
And
cowardly, by the way. Yes.
yeah, and I have like a problem. I like don't do that, so I can't even understand that position.
I don't either.
I mean, I'll stand my ground with 1,000 police officers threatening to execute me on sites. I won't even blink.
Exactly.
I won't even blink.
No, I have no fear. I have no fear.
Yeah.
And you guys should not have fear. I mean, there's living examples all around you. Eric's one. I myself, I believe myself up to be one. Aaliyah's one. You guys can get through anything, and there is no I can't in my vocabulary. Everything is I can. And even if there's obstacles, there's no reason that you can't just keep trying, because eventually you're going to overcome them. And the Lord didn't give you a spirit of fear, literally. He didn't give you one. He says, "Fear not, I am with you wherever you go." So I believe in that wholeheartedly. So I might think a little differently than some people, but there are certain words and verses that I feel them here. So
yeah, and there's spiritual stuff happening all around us, and I think if we're inviting good, then good will come to our aid. If we're inviting bad, then bad will come to our destruction.
Speaking negatively too, I noticed whenever I was like very distraught, so many things going wrong, I'm thinking, oh great, what's going to happen next? And trust me, it'll keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Like just even changing the way you think, because I mean, I'm human, and I totally experienced that firsthand. The more you think negatively, the more negative experiences you will have.
Yep.
Without doubt.
Yep. So as fun as it is for us to point out all this spiritual warfare stuff and be entertained by it, let's keep it on the back burner and stay positive.
Yes.
And almost take a positive takeaway from it, because as people commonly in the truther arena say, like, oh, you must be over the target if you're being attacked, right? Well, yeah,
Right.
if we're spreading truth and waking people up, I mean, yeah, we're over the target, and so we're being attacked because we're a threat to our actual enemy here on Earth, and that is as the Bible says, the powers and principalities, which are classes of spiritual beings that have some kind of domain here on Earth. Some kind of rule temporarily.
Sorry, I'm trying to call Aaliyah again. She just said she's back. So that totally is true.
It's interesting. Terry says that about the only like 8% of certain bloodline left. It's a war in the bloodlines. That is a very biblical concept of.
That's why I put that up there.
The seed of the serpent at war with the seed of the woman. And, I'm not going to make an absolute determination of exactly what that is. I think that's a big area that we could discuss later. Hey, Aaliyah, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Lisa. Oh my gosh. angels among us. Yep, Keith. Keith, you got some good stuff to say here. I saw a bunch of your comments. Prayer is very powerful. Yeah, I mean, I think of it in terms of you're literally acknowledging the spirit realm and talking to them. And when most people aren't doing that, you're going to get all the attention, right? Because they're not getting any attention from the other people.
I don't even know, guys.
Hey.
I'm not here, but I'm here. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I can't hear Aaliyah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna read some of these comments here. I'm assuming my mic is working.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. If we have all three of us together and all this is happening, imagine what all of us, like everyone in the comments, what kind of power and stuff could be happening right now.
Oh, I can hear Aaliyah now.
Can you hear me?
Both of you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm like, I'm gonna do sign language.
I think this is the first that we can hear everyone.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, that's because Aaliyah's on my phone still. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have some sort of power, guys. We need to all get together, have some sort of a retreat, and just move mountains, like literally.
Light a fire.
Yeah, come on, baby, light my fire. I could do it. We can do it. We can do it all together. Seriously.
We can dance around that fire.
It's like kumbaya, huh? So I'm sorry, Eric, that I kept jumping in and out. I swear that's how it goes. You know that.
Well, so I think we should wrap it up, and I'll leave people with one more thing, a story of mine that's very short. Just basically almost at the beginning of this year, sometime in February, I decided that now is the time that I'm finally going on offense. So I've been sitting on the sidelines, much like you might think of like a Yoda on the what was that swamp planet? I forgot, but I feel like I was kind of like Yoda for many years, kind of in hiding with great power, just trying to stay under the radar. And I threw my arms up in the air and I shouted out to anyone that was listening that this is the year that I'm going on offense, and I'm actually gonna start, reaching out to people, and that's why I reached out to you, and a lot of interesting, positive things have started happening since that point. So I'll encourage everyone that's hearing me talk right now that you need to acknowledge that these beings are all around us. Go outside, throw your arms up into the air, and say you want to help. Use whatever words you want, but you just want to help.
You want some of me? You want some of me?
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
So just do that. Have fun and be positive, and just volunteer to help to get us back to something of a an overall positive reality here, and it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Good words, wise words. Yeah, we can do anything and everything through Christ the Lord that strengthens us. What's that?
Get the seeds planted because it's spring.
There you go.
Vertical farming.
I mean, there's so much potential, and the possibilities are endless. But we got to keep believing in that. It's going to take all of us. I mean, it's important. So thank you, Eric. Thank you, Aaliyah. I am so glad that you were on. All the chaos that you guys seen tonight, that's just an example of what all of us could do together, which we could just redirect it in a positive way, I suppose, right?
Yeah, let's hang out for a minute after we're done here.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. We're going to close the stream for tonight. I wish all of you much love, happiness, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Aaliyah, and thank you, Eric. I appreciate you all more than you know. You mean the world to me. So with that said, good night, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Good night.